If you're thinking about moving to Arvada, stop what you're doing right now and watch this video. I have helped literally dozens of families move to Denver and Arvada specifically over the last few years. And those that did their homework beforehand, they love it. Those who didn't, well, they wind up calling me 6 months later, stuck in a community they hate with a commute that they didn't plan for and costs that they weren't aware of. This video is going to change that. I'm going to go over everything. From the cost of actually living here, how long the commutes really are, and what makes this city genuinely awesome. No fluff, no filler, just the facts. Let's get into it. Arvada is a city of about 120,000 people. It sits just west of Denver in between Lakewood and Westminster. It's the gateway to the Rockies. It's got easy access to I-70 and 93. It is actually a real gem sitting right in the heart of Jefferson County, one of the best school districts in the state. It gets lumped in as a Denver suburb, and technically it is, but Arvada has a real identity of its own. Old Town Arvada is one of the most charming, historic downtown areas in the entire metro. There's a light rail line, the G line, that connects you directly to Union Station in Denver, and outdoor access here is genuinely world class. But here's the thing, Arvada isn't one thing. There are several different pockets around the city, and where you choose to live is going to really affect your experience. So let's break it all down. All right, let's get to it. The number one question I get from people thinking about relocating: what is the cost of living? Right now, the median home price in Arvada is sitting in the $530,000 to $700,000 range, depending on the neighborhood, the size of the home, and how new it is. If you're coming from somewhere like California or the Northeast, that might sound reasonable. If you're coming from the Midwest or the South, that's going to be a significant jump. In newer developments on the western side of Arvada, like Candelas or Whisper Creek, you're looking at new builds that can push $700,000 to $900,000 easily. Closer to Old Town, you'll find older homes in the $450 to $600 range. A lot more character, smaller square footage, but incredible walkability. This is the number I see catch people off guard the most. A huge percentage of Arvada's newer developments have HOAs. I have worked with buyers who budgeted carefully for their mortgage and then found out their HOA was $300, $400, even $500 a month on top of that. Before you fall in love with a home, ask about the HOA. Always. If you are not ready to buy, the average one-bedroom apartment in Arvada runs roughly $1,600 to $2,000 a month. Two bedrooms are typically $2,000 to $2,600 range. That is more affordable than Denver proper for sure, which is part of why Arvada is attractive to renters who still want metro access. Now, Colorado has no grocery tax, which is a real win. The price of gas is slightly higher than the national average, but our property taxes are significantly lower than a lot of states and some of the best in the entire Denver metro area. So that's a win for you. Okay, this is the section I probably get asked the most about. Arvada is big, and the vibe can change depending on what part of town you're in. So let's break it down. Old Town Arvada. This is the gem of the city, and honestly, one of the best neighborhoods in the entire Denver metro area, if you ask me. Old Town is the historic core. Walkable streets, locally owned restaurants and coffee shops, breweries, awesome boutiques, a real sense of community. There are farmers markets, outdoor concerts, movies in the summer, events happening all the time. The G-Line light rail is here too, which means you can get to Union Station in Denver in about 25 minutes without ever touching your car. If you work downtown or want that city-connected lifestyle without living in Denver proper, Old Town is incredibly hard to beat. The trade-off? Price. Homes near Old Town command a premium, and the lots are smaller. If you need a big backyard or a 3-car garage, this probably isn't your neighborhood. But for young professionals, couples, or empty nesters who want to walk to dinner, this is a great spot. Now, reality, one of the downsides of Old Town, there is a homelessness and a little bit of a drug problem down there in certain areas. So if that's something that's not going to work for your lifestyle, if you have kids or something like that, that should be something you're thinking about when you make your move. Ralston Valley and West Arvada. Head west on 64th or Ralston Road, and the character of Arvada shifts into something much more classically suburban. Larger homes, newer builds, bigger lots, and a strong family orientation. Ralston Valley in particular is known for excellent schools, great parks, and a safe, quiet neighborhood feel that a lot of families relocating from out of state are specifically looking for. The trade-off here is it's not particularly walkable. You're definitely going to be in your car for most things. But if you have kids, you're prioritizing school districts, or you want some space, this area of Arvada delivers. Now this is the area I actually grew up in. My parents built the third house out in Quaker Acres way back in the day when we were way out in the sticks. And when I was a kid, the thing me and my buddies hated the most, we had to ride our bikes 5 miles into Arvada proper just to go play video games at the arcade. Now, it's filled in a little bit, but if you're going to the movies or the supermarket, you're gonna need your car. Candelas is a master plan community on the far western edge of Arvada, and it is stunning. We are talking unobstructed Rocky Mountain views, brand new construction, wide open space, trails, community pools, and that polished new development feel. If you are a remote worker or someone who does not need to commute into Denver every day, Candelas can feel like an absolute dream. But, and this is important, Candelas is far. If you're commuting to Denver or even to central Arvada regularly, you need to budget time and fuel for that. The amenities inside the community are still developing too. It's a long-term play, and a lot of people love it. Just go in with clear eyes on location. Here's something that a lot of realtors aren't going to tell you. When I was a kid, Candelas was Rocky Flats, a nuclear site. I think they've got it cleaned up as far as anyone can tell, but that is something, if it's a concern to you, to take into account. Now these are more established, mature neighborhoods on the eastern part of Arvada, close to Stanley Lake and Westminster, more affordable price points than Old Town, solidly built homes from the 70s all the way through the 90s, and a quieter feel. Great for buyers who want more home for their money and are okay with a little more traditional suburban setup. Not trendy, but genuinely solid. All right, I want to spend a minute on commuting because this is an area that can really make or break how happy you are with your choice to move to Arvada. Now, Arvada sits in our two main thoroughfares are I-70 and 93. 93 will get you out to Boulder, I-70 will get you to the mountains and to Denver. Now, both of those, if you're on I-70 and it's a Friday night or it's a weekend and it's ski season, you're going to sit in traffic forever. And if you don't plan your commute way ahead of time, you might be stuck in traffic. It's usually 25 minutes to Denver from Arvada, but if you hit rush hour, that could easily double or triple. And if you work at DTC, you're going all the way across town. You're really going to need to plan for that, what time and that kind of thing you're going to want to take off. So make sure you take the commute into account. Otherwise, you may be sacrificing some of your life experience. Now, here's one thing that a lot of people don't realize though. The G line in Old Town is an absolute game changer. It's pretty close to in Arvada. It's maybe a short drive for you from anywhere you are. And you can get down to Denver 25 minutes. No parking, no stress, no nothing. You're going to get there. For people who are looking for that kind of lifestyle, maybe they're working back and forth in Denver, that could be a game changer. All right, here's the bottom line. Where you work and how you need to get there should definitely influence what area of Arvada you choose to live in. Don't let anybody tell you that Candelas is perfect for you when you got to be in downtown Denver at 8 a.m. every morning. You definitely need to factor in commute and work schedules. Okay, giving you some real talk now, let me tell you why people absolutely love living in Arvada. You are 30 to 45 minutes from world-class skiing, hiking, climbing, mountain biking, you name it. Arapahoe Basin, Breckenridge, Vail, Rocky Mountain National Park, all those are within a couple hours. And because Arvada is on the northwestern side of Denver, you're actually a lot closer to the mountains than most of the city is. This is a huge deal for outdoor people, and it is a lifestyle upgrade that is genuinely hard to put a price on. You do not even have to leave the city to get outside. Van Bibber Open Space is beautiful, park and trails right inside of Arvada. Ralston Creek is a paved multi-use path that winds through the city. Stanley Lake Regional Park gives you that full lake experience with paddleboarding, fishing, bird watching, and miles of trails. This is an unusually outdoor-friendly city for its size. If you don't live in Old Town, you will wind up spending time there. The restaurant scene is legitimately excellent. Not chain restaurants excellent, but actual creative locally owned excellence. The brewery scene is strong, the community events are consistent, and there is a reason people from all over the metro area come here on weekends. One of my best friends actually lives in Arizona. He's an awesome guy. Every time he comes up, he wants to go to Old Town and go to the schoolhouse. It is definitely a place you're going to spend some time. If you have kids or you're planning to, this is going to matter a lot. Arvada is right in the middle of Jefferson County, one of the best school districts in the state. I can tell you from personal experience, my father actually taught in DPS for 45 years, Denver Public Schools. When my brother and I were kids, he moved us out to Arvada. He did not want us to go to Denver Public Schools. He wanted us to go to Jefferson County Schools. I went to Arvada West. I would have went to Ralston Valley. Really wasn't there at the time. Not really wasn't there at the time. It wasn't there at the time. But some of the best schools in the entire state, especially for your bang for the buck, are right here. The charter schools in Arvada, off the charts. Now this is harder to quantify, but Arvada has a real sense of community and a real sense of feel to it, a real vibe to it. I've known people who have lived here in Arvada 20, 30, 40 years and just love it. My father would have told you he was an Arvada native till the day he died, even though he grew up in Iowa, never even went to Colorado until he was 30 years old. It really matters more than people expect. All right, I promised you an honest version. Now let's get into what I think is a little bit oversold here in Arvada. You're often going to see Arvada described as that small town feel. Now, if you live in Old Town, there's absolutely a great energy and a great feel down there, but the wider city itself is a big sprawling suburb. 120,000 people live here. This is not Mayberry. This is not a small town. Now, walkability. If you're especially in some of the western subdivisions, Candelas, Whisper Creek, Five Parks, that kind of thing, they are awesome communities. You're going to get some great local restaurants. You might get a great trails and hiking, and you might have a community pool and all that kind of stuff. But if you're wanting to go to the movies or get into the action with anything outside of those areas, you're going to need a car. Now, some of the main corridors in Arvada, particularly like 64th and Ward, if you're getting into those at rush hour, it's really going to add some time to your commute. It can be a little tough to get around Arvada if you don't plan your trips ahead of time. So for some people, that's a tough thing. All right, here's how I think about it. Arvada is genuinely one of the best value options in the entire Denver metro area. And I do not say that lightly. If you're a family and you're prioritizing schools, I can't even say that word, but if you're prioritizing schools, outdoors, space, safety, Arvada, especially the west side like Ralston Valley, Whisper Creek, they're a great fit for you. If you're a young professional and you value being able to walk to dinner, being able to go to coffee shops and local boutiques and have a little bit of culture, with the connection to Denver, Old Town is definitely a great fit for you. Now, if you're a remote worker and you want beautiful mountain vistas, you want a little bit more open space and a quieter lifestyle, and you don't mind driving to get somewhere, check out Candelas. Now, if you want maximum affordability here in Arvada, you want to be close to Stanley Lake, Westminster, and those kind of areas, Lake Arbor is definitely something you should look into. There's almost nowhere in Arvada that a buyer or renter can't find a location that's really going to fit their lifestyle. All right, you made it this far. You are serious about moving to Arvada. And here's what I'm going to do for you. If you drop Arvada in the comments below, I'm going to send you my free neighborhood guide. It'll break down the cost, the commutes, everything that you need to know, schools, that kind of thing. No strings, no filler, no fluff. Now, if you're a little further along in the process and you're already starting to actively look and you need some help with that, my phone number is linked in the bio. Give me a call. I will sit down with you and we can discuss your future move as long as you'd like to do it. I'm here to help you achieve your real estate goals. And if this video helped you in any way, please like and subscribe and follow me. Also share this video with somebody who could use the information. I post videos every week that break down market costs, housing trends, things to do in Denver. So follow me on YouTube and I look forward to helping you find your Colorado dream home.